A false shuffle is simply making it appear that you're mixing the cards, but you're really not.
This is Van Tran. So you can see there's a large chunk of cards that are protected right here. And as we can see, it's going to be on the top of the deck. So she continues to have a very thick stack of cards throughout the whole shuffling process where she's protecting it.
Let's suppose that you recorded the exact order of these cards as the dealer picked them up. The dealer's in the scam and the dealer keeps the cards in order. So for this demonstration, I'm going to put these cards face up on the top of the discard rack. On the next round, same thing would happen. The cards would get picked up in order. Now it comes time for the shuffle, and the dealer would mark the spot and then shuffle to it. All of these shuffles will be fine. No false shuffles. Not a false shuffle. Now here's the group that was recorded. This is the only shuffle that will be false. And watch carefully. It looks as though I'm shuffling the cards. In fact, I'm not mixing the cards.
The whole purpose of the false shuffle is for the cheaters to be able to record a group of cards, then follow it through the shuffle, which the dealer will false shuffle, and then when they reappear, to use that knowledge to beat the casino. Now, what we're going to do here in a second is we're going to look at the series of cards that I'm going to deal out of the shoe, and we're going to believe that the cheaters are sitting on the table recording the cards. After they record the cards, and we're going to analyze them, and then we're going to see what they look like when they come back and play, and see if you can figure out who wins and who loses.
There are 3 steps to the false shuffle scam. For this demonstration, we're going to record a sequence of cards known as a slug. In the interest of time, we'll only record 3 rounds of play, but keep in mind, a slug of cards could contain between 50 and 70 cards, about 8 to 12 rounds of play. In the game of baccarat, the dealer discards the cards in an order predetermined by the procedures of the game. As the cards are discarded, we'll put the sequence of cards up on the screen. Similar to how a cheat will record the results on a game results card given to him by most casinos. Other intricate measures have been reportedly used to record this type of information, like using cell phones or even concealed cameras. Step 2 is the false shuffle. As you can see from an overhead camera, it can be difficult to detect a dealer implementing a false shuffle. However, from a different angle, all is not what it seems. To demonstrate the move more clearly, we have marked the edge of the cards. There are 2 important things to note about a false shuffle scam. Number 1, the dealer in collusion with the players only has to be present at the table to implement the false shuffle. Number 2, usually the player who cuts the card is involved in the scam so that they can make sure that the slug is not interrupted. Okay, so now we have a slug of cards that will remain in the same sequence for the next shoe. What we don't know is when is that slug going to appear. Cheats look for key cards to indicate the start of the sequence. In this round of the play, we can see that the sequence of cards out of the shoe match the start of the slug sequence. The next round can accurately be predicted, and a false shuffle team will bet the maximum on all spots on the table. Depending on the size of the slug, the cheaters can predict the outcome of each round until the end of the slug sequence.
Each time, as many players as possible around the baccarat table are in on one scam. One player, often Van's cousin, Thu Tran, or family friend, Willie Tran, is known as the recorder. Their job is to note down the order of the cards as they are dealt. When the dealer's card shoe is empty, the dealer gathers all the cards back in order to shuffle them and place them back in the shoe, except he doesn't carry out a full shuffle. He carries out a false shuffle. Whilst appearing to shuffle all the cards, in fact, through sleight of hand, the dealer keeps a run on the cards completely intact. They're in the exact order in which they were first played. This batch is called a slug, and typically contains 40 cards. The recorder watches the shuffle carefully, and with the help of the dealer, who makes things more visible than they should, notes down the cards that the slug begins and ends with. And then, using a spy cam on his glasses, a concealed microphone, or sometimes just a snapshot or on an open phone line, sends the complete order of the slug to the programmer, another family member who sat outside in a van at a computer. So to recap, that's Van Tran's cousin Thu Tran, or no relation Willie Tran, secretly speaking to another Tran who's in a van. Confused? Don't be. When the slug re-enters the game, A simple program reveals when the players should be betting on the player's bet, the dealer's bet, or a tie. This information is then relayed back to the recorder who, with coded signals or via a wireless microphone and earphones, it's also handy when you all speak Vietnamese and no one else does, passes it on to the rest of the crew.